Hi, it's Mississippi Diana again, and tonight I decided I'd like to talk about why I gained weight, why I was, or still am, an obese person. With me, it started as a very young child. I grew up in a family with two overweight parents from the South, where we ate a lot of fried chicken, biscuits, gravy. Most everything was fried, and it had a lot of grease in your biscuits and everything. And that's how we grew up. If we had grown up maybe in today's generation, where people are trying to be health conscious, maybe I wouldn't have grown up with the desire to eat foods that were bad for me in quantities that were bad. I was a plump child from the age 10 to about 15 to 16, and after that I lost weight, and I was lucky to be able to lose weight enough in my teen years that I had a pretty good young adult life. And I didn't start putting on weight until I was probably in my 30s. You know, I may have went up and down some, but I was able to control it because I always liked to eat, and I had developed those fat cells early. And depression through bad relationships, bad marriages, did cause me to use food as a crutch, as a tool to calm my nerves down. I know I went through times where I would binge and eat more food at one setting than you would think would be physically possible. But it was my comfort food, and at the time I didn't care if I died. You know, when you go through this deep depression, you know, some people, whenever they go through a depression, they can't eat at all. I know a lot of skinny women who, they're depressed, but they don't eat anything when they're depressed. But I'm one of those that I craved food, bad foods, ice cream, cake, mashed potatoes and gravy, you know, buttered biscuits, fried chicken. You know, I loved all those things whenever I was going through a bad time. And then, after my father passed away, I moved back in with my mother, and I stayed with her. She became handicapped and wheelchair bound through arthritis. And I wound up staying with her, it was about 12 years before she finally had to go into a nursing home. And that time was very trying for me. It was very hard. I felt trapped a lot of times, and I didn't date. I didn't do anything but devote myself to her, and things like doing family history and photography and things like that, but I didn't have a lot of personal me time except for eating. We both love to eat, so we indulged. We ate when we wanted to. Neither one of us needed to worry about a relationship, so we ate. We didn't care how big we got. And when I turned 40, I quit smoking. And when I quit smoking, I basically had a nervous breakdown. I ate constantly for days. And finally I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder had caused a lot of my nervous problems in my youth that I didn't really know what it was. And I started taking some heavy medications for the bipolar disorder. I started with lithium, and then I progressed to Tegretol and Depakote and several other medications. And some of those, later on, I found out caused excessive weight gain. not so much that they caused, but they contributed to your desire to eat. And that I did. And I got to the point where I was 300 pounds in 2000. That was when I went to Bangkok for 2 months and traveled. It was wonderful. I was already to the point that I almost had to have an extension for the seatbelt, but not quite at that point. Then in 2003, I went to Germany. Well, I was close to 400 pounds then. I still thought I looked pretty good. I had a good time, but it was hard traveling because of the weight. I had to have an extension finally, and but I kept my weight about 400 pounds, 425, something like that, until 2005, when I started checking on gastric bypass, and my weight ballooned between then and when I actually was scheduled for surgery. I had gotten up to 515 by the time of my surgery. So that's my situation with weight. It's not been easy. Now that I've had surgery for a little over 6 weeks and I've lost over 50 pounds, I'm beginning to feel great. I'm beginning to feel like I can get my life back together. And through the help of my friends here on YouTube, I think it's going to be a lot easier. So that's my little story on weight gain, and I thank you for watching. Bye-bye. See you again.